Silencer.
Good evening, and after what seems like a really long interval, really long break, we are back for more ESL One Hamburg C qualifier coverage. My name is Hades, all the way from Singapore, and my co-caster PQMZ. And we have HappyFeet from the Philippines versus Warriors Gaming Unity, a mixed team from Malaysia, Singapore, and Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, and no, Korea. So, PQMZ, what are you looking forward to about the series?
I haven't seen HappyFeet play in a while, and they picked Spirit Breaker, so it should be an interesting game. Maybe lots of action.
Lots of action. I mean, do you see this as something fun? Because I know so far yesterday you weren't really too impressed with the C games. It kind of tilted you a bit. And for those of you in the chat who are not sure, or those of you tuning in who are unsure who these stand-ins are, well, Miracle is now basically playing as a 4. Sionix and Xnova replacing Fly Solo and Screen after there was some internal conflicts saying that, you know, the support duo wasn't working out. So HappyFeet, I mean, they open up with a pretty strong support duo of their own right now, which is the Spirit Breaker and Silencer. I mean, we've seen some good Silencer games yesterday. Maybe we can expect to see the same today.
It is a really early pick though, so they must have some flex in the pick if they want to run it as a core, if they are happy running as support. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth the second pick. But as I said, I haven't seen the team play, so I don't know how they draft, and maybe this is just a hero that wins them a lot of games. It's not bad to draft it in the first 2, but it's just something that you can punish.
10 seconds.
But Warriors Gaming, okay, they're okay with that. You know, they pick up the Disruptor as a response. That's pretty fun. You know, you Disruptor into a Spirit Breaker. He charges in before he even gets there. He just glimpses him back. That's annoying to play into. But okay, HappyFeet, I think I've only casted 1 game for them. Rappy is a new addition to, kinda as the replacement to WG.U. WG.U was from HappyFeet. Ben-Hur, you know, that's, I think for a while he was with Clutch Gamers for the new roster, but kinda didn't work out. And he came back to HappyFeet. He did play with Mineski for a short stint way back. Yash, Jules, you know, they've had role swaps around. Jesse Vash playing as the 5, as a shot calling kind of role. He's also played in the off lane before with Mineski as well. Same can be said about Jules. You know, these players, they all know each other really well, and all mechanically skilled. Ben-Hur pretty much still is a new talent trying to break into the scene, but I feel like maybe they do have a chance. They looked quite strong the last time we saw them play.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the cleanest, but they got there in the end.
But what do you think so far? I mean, do you hope to see some fun picks here? I mean, it's pretty standard so far. Veno and Necro taken out, and Lich as well first ban. What else are you looking forward to see? Or what do you want to see? Let's theory craft a bit here.
5 seconds remaining.
So far, as you said, super standard, so the draft doesn't look particularly interesting early. But from what I see so far, like, no Stalker and Disruptor, they're not the strongest support duo. You can run over these heroes pretty easily if they don't have a strong carry, so you might see that be something that they exploit. Bloodseeker's also a pretty good hero against both of these two, doesn't really care too much about either of them. Very aggressive hero, works really well with the global to cover him, and Spirit Breaker to, you know, constantly harass around the map, get in a trade somewhere, and then suddenly you've got a good amount of damage from the first. And easy cancels for all the Rupture TP outs.
I mean, do you think this could kind of indicate like maybe a Darkseer pickup? We've seen Spirit Breaker Darkseer work together before. It's really annoying, especially when you put it as a nice dual lane to the top to contest it. I mean, that could be an option available to them. We'll have to see. I mean, it's still pretty early to see in the second phase. And Warriors Gaming, you know, no hero is fun to play against Bloodseeker, especially when you have a Spirit Breaker running around, heroes get low, and without meaning to, your enemy Bloodseeker just gets buffed because of his thirst. But okay, Warriors Gaming go ahead and pick up the Doom. That's one annoying hero to deal with Bloodseeker. So at least with Spirit Breaker out of the lane, Doom with a good Satyr or whatever creep he has, he's gonna be a huge pain in the butt for Bloodseeker. Maybe we might even see him follow up as Ice what Ice did. He picked up that mana creep with the really pathetic heal.
Depends how lucky you are with the spawns, I don't see Bloodseeker having too many problems if it's just for Doom, but the chances it's just for Doom at like the 4-minute mark is very low.
5 seconds
Night Stalker's gonna roam around the map quite a lot in the early phases, I imagine.
But okay, HappyFeet, they have a good hero for splitting up the map. A bit risky, seeing as they have a Night Stalker. And Night Stalker, this is like a battle of who is going to be controlling lanes better. I mean, one's going to push lanes out, the other is just going to get better vision. But Sven, okay, that's just one way of dealing with it. I mean, Sven, laning-wise, do you think he does okay against Nature's Prophet just because he has that inbuilt cleave? I always feel like, especially the first 3 levels, you kind of struggle against the Treants. You take a lot of harassment, but if someone helps me support, maybe you can kind of force the Nature's Prophet just to go straight to the jungle.
5 seconds remaining.
If they put the Night Stalker up there, yeah, they can definitely force him out the lane. But that depends what they want. I imagine that's what they should do though, because if Spirit Breaker is up there, then the Night Stalker kind of has to be as well. I like the Prophet pickup though. I think from what the Doom and Disruptor, even the Night Stalker, like they don't push lanes at all. So you're going to have problems playing quickly when you're against this hero. Because lanes are always going to be pushed in, you have to slow your game down to go and deal with them. So I think now they need another hero that can push lanes.
You're talking about HappyFeet,
and they
right?
also need some kind of like tower push, I think.
Are you talking about HappyFeet?
No, Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Like they need lane pushing heroes. Quap is okay at it. Not the best hero into Bloodseeker Silencer though, so whoever's playing Quap has to be pretty comfortable this game, I think. I mean, not that I'm a mid player, but I wouldn't be asking for this hero in this game.
Well, I mean, HappyFeet doesn't exactly push that well, that quickly as well, in terms of D-push. Like, if Warriors game to come in with a big creep wave, HappyFeet can't really do too much about it. You have Blood Right, you have a Curse of the Silent, but that's about it. That draft is just about winning the lanes, and it's almost kind of similar, like trying to replicate Clutch Gamer's game plan. You win the lane and then you snowball off that. Like especially with Rappy and the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, but they have ways of getting towers. They have ways of splitting the map. Like it's nowhere near as like single-minded as at least the first game from Clutch.
10 seconds.
Personally, I think HappyFeet's draft is just slightly better against what they're up. What they're up against. It just pairs. Like I feel like they win in most of the trades. So we'll see how they deal. Like I imagine Doom's going to be the big hero of this game. He's either going to be completely irrelevant or he's going to do a lot of things. And if he's irrelevant, then yeah, good luck winning. But we'll see.
Alright, so game 1, our draft is just finished, but so far PQ, who are you favoring a bit more? Who are you more inclined to see succeed in this first game?
I would rather be playing HappyFeet's team lineup personally. I think it's mostly just easier for them to play quickly with the Spirit Breaker and the Prophet having a lot of global presence, and then they have these 2 really strong cores that you can kind of leave on their own for a while to let your supports go and make things happen. Whereas Warriors, they have a Quap which can play quickly and can deep-push lanes, but the rest of their team, if they're not finding kills, they aren't doing much, Like Disruptor and Night Stalker, they're not the fastest at, pushing out lanes or farming creeps.
No, maybe that might...
So I kind of feel like they rely on getting a lot of fights.
Probably, but you never know. Sometimes these C teams, things get a bit unexpected, and things might not exactly go according to how we cast as predicted. But we'll have to see. And Okay, for this, I still have plenty of doubt. Like, because when we saw Miracle play yesterday on the 4, I know we both echoed the same thing. You know, we weren't really too impressed. Maybe he's learning the role, and sometimes learning a role can really take a few months. I mean, you referenced S4, saying that he was struggling as well to start in the first 2 months, playing in the off lane, but you know, his mechanics were there, and afterwards, next thing you know, he's become such a huge core pillar of that team right now, and the way they play. So, oh, okay, good start with the Disruptor, taking out that ward. For those of you who don't know, this is Xnova. Your Disruptor stand-in player is Xnova. Alright, so
I just hope his glimpses are a bit better than the Disruptors we saw yesterday.
We get the good stuff.
Oh, those glimpses. Yeah, that triggered you hardcore.
To be fair, a lot of things triggered me yesterday. I was probably a bit harsh.
It's all good, you know. Have some, I don't know, have some Monster or whatever you're drinking and chill a bit. And we're ready for this. I mean, this is a new series. Winner of this, we're going to play in a semi-final tomorrow. Which, let me look at the bracket. Who is actually playing in the semi-final? I mean, interesting score update for you guys. And Mineski got knocked out by Fnatic. Who would have expected that? And Clutch Gamers beat out TNC. So, plenty of upsets happening. Xionyx really taking a ton of damage from the Treants. Miracle and Xnova, they want to try and zone Rappy out. But, you know, these Treants are annoying as hell.
Yeah, Prophet is probably one of the single strongest offlaners, level 1. His trees hit extremely hard. And Spirit Breaker is one of the most innately tanky heroes in the game, so... Even though he took Bash level 1 and he hasn't been getting the most
success. They want to go into Rappy. Stormbot Hammer already went with the Void. Rappy should be dying here, and I think Rappy's dead. Yes, and Miracle gets first blood. And that's a good way to start. You know, it's nice to see that he actually gets involved in some action for once in the first minute.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of the first point Bash.
I don't think anyone is. It's very awkward.
I mean, it's okay if you're like trading and you just happen to get 1 or 2 bashes, but in that situation, you know, you're kind of wishing you had the charge. It's not too big a deal though, because he's going to come back to the lane and the pressure is still going to be there. If they can not give up too many kills and put as much pressure on the Sven as they're currently putting, they're going to win the lane. Because these two supports are not going to have fun dealing with the Prophet at all.
Well, talk about not having fun, you know, middle lane. Fiero's not having...
I mean, he's equal on CS, yeah, he's having plenty of fun, man.
I mean, he's still not having, like, the best of times, if you know what I mean. Oh, Ben-Hur. I would say Miracle. Well, regen rune. There's old teammates butting hits. Literally. With the Spirit Breaker just coming in. And Velo having a very nice time. Do you think we'll actually see that Max Infernal Blade build again? Like, he's talked about the damage is something which is not... You know, it's not fun to play around with.
This game, I like the Scorched Earth just because there's so much incremental damage that the regen's probably going to help you a lot. They don't have an insane amount of burst.
Jesse Vash. Ow, that crit! Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah. Wolf Creep is extremely annoying for supports. You know, this is where Doom is at his most effective, when he's against a dual lane that can't kill him. And he can just, you know, trade hits with the supports and draw the wave and start manipulating the lane this way. And then he gets kind of about as free a lane as you can expect, and with where he's got the creeps at the moment, it's ideal.
Xionyx getting charged to the bottom lane by the Warcry, you know, all is good. But it looks like they...
Bash.
Oh, if you got a bash in that'll be like the unluckiest disruptor in the world. But I know he did TP back to the tier 1 tower. All's good, and they want to force Miracle back into this lane. Just making sure that Miracle stays away from helping the Quap get an advantage over the Viper. That's a lot of faith in the Viper to make sure he wins the lane. But okay, Jules brought to half HP. They don't have enough damage for him. Might reconsider going on to Rappy instead. That might slightly easier target. And Miracle taking a lot of hits. No regen. I feel like he will be forced back to the base. But he wants level 2. Which he will finally get. And the first nighttime has just arrived. So I don't know, I'm still not too convinced. I'm waiting to see whether they have any more impact. They're gonna get some hits into Jules. Do they have a glimpse? Yes, they do. They were waiting for him to charge. They're gonna time it right, and Jules knows he's dead, so Miracle. And Xnova getting himself a very nice kill.
This is where I believe the pressure will start mounting. Sure, the Night Stalker needs to go heal, but after that, you can like TP to a lane. Maybe the Quaff gets level 6 by that point.
Oh, Yash top lane in some trouble. Warriors Gaming on the hunt with Fiero, and they have a Scream. So down he goes, and Fiero getting a nice kill with a good rotation. Buying up his Sage Mask. And once again, you know, Jules just charging straight to the bottom lane. Trying to pressure Shionix, but it hasn't succeeded. No matter how many times he's tried.
And he's definitely underfarmed, so it's not like he's doing a bad job. But I do think they're going to want to start moving away from this bottom lane soonish. And
oh, they bring 3 heroes bottom though.
To be fair.
Might be a good start. Great body blocks from Rappy, and this will be in +2. This is good, because if he wasn't intending to go for an Echo Saber, now is a good time to consider it. Because Sven doesn't have the biggest mana pool, let's face it, but he has the level 10 talent for the extra mana, I believe. Yeah, 20-25.
I don't think Echo Saber's the best.
Top lane again, Yash. Well, scorched earth.
They need to keep better track of this Quaff play. He's just running to this lane, and you know, this is where you really need like a hill ward or just, you know, some kind of vision. Like, Bloodseeker's not a hero that comes back from like a really bad early game.
Well, Ben-Hur. Shionix is here as well, level 2 Stormbolt. And they have the glimpse if necessary. They will glimpse him back into the kinetic field. Jesse Vash is here with a Mask of Bad. So Curse of the Silent. Shionix might actually die. Sonic Wave. Oh, Shionix is dead. Rotation coming in from Rappy. So 1-for-1 trade. Mid for your safe lane. Jules is charging in. Blink out. So it's kind of interesting.
Overall, I think Warriors will be happy with that. The Viper's worth a lot more than the Sven right now.
Alright, but 5-2, and still HappyFeet remain ahead despite losing in the kill score. And they have the great, you know, good heroes are splitting up the map, pushing faster by a bit, at least before this Sven gets out of hand. Yash about to get level 6 in a bit.
I think this Bloodseeker's dead again.
Yep, with the Doom as well. And yep, they're gonna find Bloodseeker, leaving him to die, chasing Jesse Vash into the trees. Let the jukes begin, but there is no juking from this, with 3 heroes running you down. Ooh, Jesse Vash. Jesse Vash? Hello? Okay, never mind, they have the Void. If he survived that.
This is why I kind of said about moving the Spirit Breaker away from pressuring this Sven. If they get a kill on this Sven, then it's okay.
Yeah, they have to.
They're more than likely.
Bash? 17%? Oh. Alright, he will die to the creep. But Pharaoh and Sven stick at top.
The main problem is, you know, if they aren't getting that kill, then their Bloodseeker's suffering. But they make up for it in the end. The Warriors do get the tower though, so overall they win the trade.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they're getting some good damage into the bottom tier 1s. Shionix, very, very underfarmed. 29-6, you know, compared to your Bloodseeker who's 42-14. Miracle, well, coming in. Nature's Prophet does have an infused raindrop, so he's soaked up a ton of that damage already as it is. Yeah, Jules is going to be so happy for this rune. Does he take it? I think he does.
Yeah, no one has a bottle, so no need to save runes. Just take them away from the core.
So Pharaoh, he's going to be just a bit displeased that he... Well, maybe not, because he doesn't even know what rune was there. Or did he? No, this war doesn't scout that rune out. But bottom lane, Jules charging again, going for Shionix. Wrath of Nature already connected. X-Nova. The kinetic field, but Shionix will end up dying. Now they want to try and turn into Jules, but they just don't have enough heroes, not enough damage. And Ben-Hur now, he's starting to try to put more pressure into this mid tier 1. Used the Viper Strike early on. Bloodthirst, well, will scout out Fiero, but that's the end of that. And HappyFeet are still finding, somewhat favorable trades.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, despite the few deaths on the Bloodseeker, they're winning every other lane, and that's, good enough. You win 2 out of 3 lanes. Especially with heroes like Viper and Prophet who can... Well, Viper can park himself in a lane and kind of force heroes to come to him, and then Prophet can always help with that.
And Rappy.
Now they've also... Yeah, they've taken the tower, so now they're equal, and they can maybe start moving around the map a bit more. That, or they just continue to ward up this area and limit the Sven.
And they really want to pressure Yaj again. We haven't seen a Rupture yet for a while, have we?
He used it top to try and get a kill on the Doom, but he TP'd out. I do feel like it's not too big a deal if the Sven gets a few minutes, because they have really good heroes against Sven. Like, Spirit Breaker is one of the best supports in the game against him. Bloodseeker makes his mobility awkward as hell. Viper is just very good at fighting him.
Alright, so we hear Rupture. Furo in some trouble, should be dead, won't even get the blink out. And okay, so that's a killing spree going to Ben-Hur. They find themselves a bit more traction. First time in this game we're going to see at least a comfortable over 1,000 gold advantage. Just the beginning of things to show. And they're going for the tier 1 tower. Alright, going to Ben-Hur as well, he's very fat. He has a Hooded Defiance, Treads, Aquila. Very hard to kill him. Okay, and meanwhile Mr. Yash just shrining up. Velo will immediately TP out.
Warriors also know about the sword because of the Prophet ult. So hopefully that gets dewarded like right now. Because that's a very valuable ward, You don't want to be giving that up.
Such deep vision, and I think he should be taking care of it right now.
That's good.
Do you think that they want to try for a smoke when Doom is up again?
It's awkward because I think now they're just gonna suffer from like lanes getting pushed in, and they kind of don't have an excessive hero that's just gonna sit and push out a lane. Maybe Night Stalker in daytime, and that might allow the Doom to move. But other than that, it's gonna be very choreographed when they move from their lanes.
They're trying to bring down Radiant's top
Because
tower.
that's all HappyFeet need to do. They shove one lane in with a Viper, another with a Bloodseeker, the Prophet farms a jungle somewhere, and then he can TP in, and the supports just move between. Sanderson needs to get his 6, but he's going to have that in the next wave if he doesn't die before that. And then they're pretty much good, I think.
Radiant's top tower is on the rocks.
We see a smoke towards the Doom, but it doesn't latch on anyone. They do have a DD pop, so maybe they can dent the tower, but nothing really seems to be latching for them right now. They're just losing out in every respect. Like, all of their cores are just suffering more.
Shionix is just very, very underfarmed. I mean, at some point someone's going to be saying support Sven, and we wouldn't even be able to disagree.
Passes him soon.
He actually might be able to at this rate.
Yeah, I can see that. But that would require the Sven dying and the Night Stalker getting like 1 or 2 turn kills. They're at least trying to do some ancient stacking. So he'll have the way to catch up. But HappyFeet have amazing heroes at contesting ancients.
And Rappy actually going for an ATOS this game, and that's gonna affect the Sven's mobility even more. They use the scan, they know where Miracle is,
as well.
or they know the enemy heroes there. So they're making their way up to the shrine area, they want to take the tier 1 tower. Oh yeah, actually this is great item for against the call.
It's a really weird pickup for Prophet in a lot of cases, but the stats on the item are amazing, so...
Yes, now they pop the drums, they're going immediately for the Doom onto the Bloodseeker. Sonic Wave. Well, Bloodseeker slowly ticking down. They're going to charge back in. They will go straight for X-Nova, and X-Nova is going to die to the Viper. And over in the back, Velo also goes down. Miracle, nothing he can do. And actually, okay, yep, they do finally get the Yash kill with the Doom. But Miracle just have to helplessly watch his teammates die. And Furo, he did TP back.
And now the Sven's in trouble, right?
Yep. Oh, Stormbolt Hammer does connect. But they want to try and fight here. Another strike, catching onto Sionix. The Atos also catched Miracle. And alright, Miracle, yeah, he's out. So bit of an awkward exchange, but still HappyFeet are just climbing further and further ahead. Like, I think it feels it's not draft issues, but in terms of team chemistry, right now HappyFeet are definitely ahead.
A bit of both, I think. Like, this is again coming back to what do Nightstalker and Disruptor do in this game. Okay, look, they're trying to kill a Viper, so he's out on his own. He has a hood. He's pretty tanky. You know, this is taking all 5 heroes.
Oh, now here comes the Blood Right, the Rupture, Miracle, 1 click, 2 click, Velo 3 maybe. TP out. Oh, 1 more hit. Oof.
He
hit the Ancient.
Missed, didn't he?
No, he hit the Ancient.
No, I think he uphill missed. I saw him miss. But going back to my point, it's just like these two supports, especially Nightstalker, he didn't have like a huge early game impact, and then when it gets to this point where teams start grouping up, the hero just naturally falls off unless the rest of his team is able to fight. And Doom, Sven, Quap, they're good fighting heroes, but Quap got a little behind in the lane, and especially with how much she moved around the map, she was a little under-leveled, and the Sven just got Jackal because his supports weren't strong enough. So this is just HappyFeet exploiting a really weak point in their draft, and if they can keep playing like this and getting pickoffs, they're in a really good spot.
He tried to use the Shadow Amulet, but there was a sentry there. I guess the easier question I should be asking you is, can WG come back from this kind of this mid-game pressure? Easily? Okay. Because right now they're pressuring, they're looking to take a tier 2 by 16 minutes in. Bloodseeker's low on top, so maybe that's the... Yep, they're gonna bully this guy, but he's running far. He doesn't have a TP, he's not getting out of this. I'm pretty sure he's dead. It's gonna take a while, but he will die.
Yep, step 1 achieved. Step 2 is make sure the Sven's farming meanwhile. You know, when he's able to use this time to take double, triple ancient stacks, push out waves, the hero comes back very quickly. You know, Doom, same thing. He took the Devour Gold, so eventually he's going to get items that other heroes wouldn't in this state of the game.
I mean,
don't get me wrong,
we saw yesterday,
easily,
right?
It's feasible. You know, they can easily win this game, but I suppose easily isn't the best word. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and I just wanted to point out that yesterday, you know, we saw a really farmed Doom from the off lane where he was somewhat carrying his team. He outfarmed his carry, he outfarmed his mid, he went for a Radiant. I forgot which game that was, but they still lost that game. And Doom is not that hero which does 1v5, you know. And the Shadowblade pick, I'm not so sure about this. I'm not convinced because I mean, I can see the logic why you wouldn't want to go for it. Maybe like a Silver Zedge to deal with the Viper's corrosive skin, making him less tankier. But I don't know. I'm still very skeptical.
It's also really good against Bloodseeker.
Okay, but why would you say that?
Shadowblade on Doom is just... it's pretty standard. Like, this hero, it doesn't like walking in. Especially when the map is going to be quite split this game. So the Shadowblade is going to allow him to catch the Prophet consistently, which is going to be very important for the team. And it's going to help if he upgrades it into a Silver Edge in multiple ways in the fights. It's just a good Doom item. And ever since they nerfed the cast point on Doom, people do not like buying Blink.
Global Silence, do they get out? Rappy! Oh no. Alpha with Aura. This ward over here gave them vision for the Courier Snipe. And that's going to be annoying, but at least nothing was sniped out. But at the same time, he knew that, you know, the Doom was going to try for a Shadowblade kill, which he kind of thought it.
Still, it's an opportunity for Warriors to go and get something done now. They know there's no global, there's no profit for 20. But
they want the Jules kill. Hello?
Should be pretty easy.
Alright, cancelling the TP. Miracle? I thought he was not going to do anything about that. They're going to get the kill to Sionix maybe? Nah. Fiora gets the kill. That's his debut of his Orchid. He's going to have a Yield Scepter on the way up. Looks like they want to get Yash. Velo. Infernal Blade with the Doom. Doom's back.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not getting to your shrine. He's dead. Into the Static Storm as well. 2 ults for the Bloodseeker kill. To them, they're saying worth it.
You see how much damage she does with the Shadow Blade as well? Like, that was a 100%... Not solo kill, because the shrine would have probably saved him if it wasn't for the glimpse, but he did all the damage. And, you know, Bloodseeker's not that squishy. He did take the 25 damage talent, which I think is a ginormous mistake. Like, 225 health is like insane value for a level 10 talent. The only one that's better, I believe, is Doom's talent, which personally I prefer, but you know, I can understand the Devour Gold.
You know, plus 80 Devour
makes
Gold.
Get into the game so much better.
So, okay, wait, is that after the plus 180 or is that before?
No, that's included in the tooltip for whatever reason.
Alright, so 180.
It's 100 at level 4.
Alright, so 180 gold every 40 seconds.
It's a Midas.
Oh, that's effectively like what, a free 200 GPM if you think about it, which is a lot of gold. And he's gonna be really, really fat. And I mean, it's just the nature of Velo. Velo plays very greedy offlaners. So this is why, you know, when the team starts to play around Velo and Fiero, I feel like this is a team which might actually start to show some signs of success. Charge, Nether Strike. Oh, Orchid Silence on Fiero, gonna save him, but X-Nova's dead anyways to the Viper and the Bloodseeker. Bloodrite does so much. And they're gonna take a tier 2 tower, might even force a tier 3. Oh, yeah, they are going for the tier 3.
I'm not really sure about taking it, but they can definitely do a lot of damage. It's going to be a lot easier for them as well, because they know Disruption's dead. So when they see like 5 seconds on his clock,
They have
they
a
can
siege
back up
card.
if they want.
Nether Strike, Global Silence, they want to fight, they want to force the issue. This is rough. Doom is about to die. One more hit. Viper gonna get caught. Sonic Wave to blow him up. And Miracle, looking to cancel TPs perhaps. Void on code over 3 more seconds. Everyone's getting back. The Glimpse back. They will find Yash. Big target. And that's 2 cores down. HappyFeet losing 2 big heroes. And great fight there for Warriors Gaming.
Okay, just to refer to the previous series, like the clutch gaming decisions they make to not go high ground in these spots. Like HappyFeet had no reason to go high ground there. They weren't taking the tower. They can do some chip damage and then back off, but you know, they're against a disruptor. They don't want to go in.
Oh, Fiero wants this Jules kill. Won't get the Orchid Silence up, but he does get out. Takes care of the Creeper. Oh, X-Nova, he wanted to get the Glimpse kill. Miracle going on to Jesse Vash very, very hard. Oh, he liked that.
Yeah, full squishy silencer.
No, revenge for the -2. How many intel stacks has he taken now? He's only gotten +2 this whole game. Oh shit.
Yeah, he's not been near many kills. He is a very, very sad support. But his team's doing okay. They're not doing anywhere near as well since they tried to push high ground and kind of just threw away a lot of their advantage. Now, you look at the gold graph and you see the net worth chart, and you're no longer scared for the Radiant team being underfarmed. You know, their heroes are equal or just under, depending how you compare which ones. And well, when they're playing on equal farm, they do a little bit less still, but they also farm a lot quicker once they get their items, you know? Like, HappyFeet need to use their items to fight, whereas Warriors can use the items to farm, to then get another set of items, to then fight. HappyFeet don't have the same luxury of farming as quickly. They might have more of the map if they keep an advantage, but when they throw it away by pushing high ground and relieving all the pressure by TPing everyone to base, then it frees up the entire map. And you know, they need to get that chokehold back on them, and taking Roche is step 1. And they're doing it while getting a pick off.
Toss, they look like they will find the big tasty kill, which is Fiero dominating kill, going to Rappy, and it looks like they might even get the Aegis for free as well. Fiero has no buyback.
Tank the Roshan. Micro your Treant. Please.
Tilted.
It's irrelevant, but I want to see it. Yeah, really, really good from them though. Finding the kill and getting Roche was extremely well done. Not a lot of teams would do that, but now they just need to get in the position again where they kind of have the chokehold on the map. You know, start pushing the lanes out. Like the bottom and mid lane are already shoved. Once they get the top one out, they can kind of just wait and see what shows, and then they can continue farming. And as long as they have more of the map, they're in a good spot.
Alright, so 16 to 12, HappyFeet at least finding themselves a footing back into the game, which the advantage which was thrown to Warriors Gaming earlier on. You know, their cores are looking quite good. This Nature's Prophet is looking more and more of a threat. He's going to build into his BKB. Fiero needs his next item up ASAP. He needs the Yule Scepter up. We haven't seen item progression from him in like the past 5 minutes.
He's going Yule's. Sorry, Lincoln's. Not Yule's. But yeah, I agree. Like, he needs his item so he can split push without having the Spirit Breaker charging him. That's the scariest thing this game. Like, you're just gonna have to deal with the global. I think Lincoln's is 100% better pickup. And this is where we're gonna see the first major trade. I like that they're kind of going towards mid instead of bottom. Mid's the better tower, but they're being really greedy right now. It's paying off though.
Oh, Philo getting charged. Do they have anything to cancel? No, they don't have anything to cancel the TP, so they're gonna get out. And this is where they disengage, but okay, Jules doesn't know that he has a wild Fiero. Yep. Very, very lucky.
And he sees the ward.
Or put a sentry down. Jules? Miss.
He's pretty tanky with Solar Crest.
Sonic Wave. Void. Ah, he's dead. No way to save him from that. I'm sure the moment he put that sentry down, he must have been like...
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they can deal with this, which is really important. That Warriors having no aggressive vision on their side of the map. Sorry, HappyFeet's vision is going to allow them to actually be able to get these kills with their movement. Because every time they shove waves, they are going to show their heroes. Maybe Prophet can get away with not showing with his Treants, but every other hero is going to show when they push. And the only way they're going to know is game sense or wards. And if you take one of them out, then people can misjudge games very, very easily. So they do end up taking the ward, and now the only vision HappyFeet have is by the river, which is effectively useless vision for them at this point in the game. Because they want their lane to be here all the time, if not further up. So this vision kind of shows nothing.
Okay.
You know, they need vision in lanes, they need vision like deeper than that.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, now with all the tools, and look at this +4 Treants. This is the tower taking quite a lot of damage. And this is a Silver's Edge. Silver's Edge is great against Ben Hur. Static Storm trapping him down. Oh, they even used the God Strength for this, but the Rupture onto Sionix, and he's just gonna stand there with that BKB. Nether Strike pushing him around. Global Silence comes out. Viper, well, they need to disengage. Yeah, they need to wait, but the Glimpse, it's gonna force them to fight in such an unnecessary position. And they do take some damage, but how do they fight here? HappyFeet, how do you push? You can't. And Miracle, he's gonna keep going on fearlessly, charging in right now. Blade Mail is there. Sionix doesn't have a God Strength, he doesn't have BKB. This is actually the great time to go back in, Yash. Alright, Jules is gonna chase him down. He will bring down Sionix. Yash running around, race car mode, actually won't die. Oh, I take that back, 3 for 2 trade. Jesse Vash out of mana, gonna be hunted down like a dog. And down goes Jesse Vash.
That's a bit rude, dude. He's not a dog. Be nice.
It's a figure of speech.
I know, man, but you know, there's people out there that will not appreciate that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, my bad then.
Regardless, though, I think the main reason they lose that fight is because the global came out after the Doom on the Viper, so he couldn't force staff away and get any distance and create like a good fight. they blew a lot of spells on the Aegis, which wouldn't have been fine if Global came out before the Doom. So that one small fuck up kind of makes that push look really, really bad. I think it was a really good idea to go for the push, but they just didn't execute properly. And yet again, it looks like a bad decision for them to have gone for that. And now, sure, the Sven died, but the Quap and the Doom are both getting more and more. And these heroes, they're very strong.
Yep, and Quap is actually going to be able to afford a Euro Scepter really, really soon, like 2,400 gold, top of the net worth.
I don't think you buy it anymore. I think you just get a BKB.
I'm actually thinking about him going back
because
into the
of the ATOS and the Orchid.
Oh yeah, actually that's a really good point.
Like, if you at this stage of the game, BKB is just better. If you go Yules as like your first or your second item, it's because of the timing of the game. If he still goes Yules, fine, that's obviously his comfort reason, but I think BKB is just strictly better right now. Because it helps him win a fight. Yules does nothing except help you split push.
Jules getting the multiple silencers, that's a nice Stormbolt Hammer, yes! Ripped apart into shreds, and they will chase after Jules. Alright, so Velo with the double kill. The Silver's Edge, great use. And Jesse Vash will be cut up. Oh.
And now you just see how the team crumbles when 1 or 2 pushes go awry. And
the Glim is back. They've found Ben-Hur. Sonic Wave. Alright, and
you just see how small this Bloodseeker is as well. Like, his talent choices are extremely questionable in conjunction with his items. Like, you buy Blade Mail and you don't take the health talent, feels really weird. And you just see, like, it wasn't the early kills, but it was like those 1 or 2 failed pushes that completely stunt his net worth. Because Viper's always pushing one lane in, so is the Prophet, and that just leaves very little room for him to farm. And because they've lost these few fights, the hero now feels a lot less strong than it should. And he's even going to get caught out here again. Can they get a kill though? Probably, he has Doom. Or, you know, you just hit him once or twice, because DD Night Stalker doing some more.
Jules, he's going to try and force the issue with Miracle. Bash.
Lucky Bash.
Last one. Miracle's dead. Jules probably going to find at the shrine. Do they have detection? Yes, they do. They pop the dust. Right click, right click, right click. ATOS. Jules, get out and kite the sky. But here comes Shionix, Stormbolt, Hammer, BKB from Rappy. So that's going to mean he dodges a stun. By Saitama, no way to cancel that TP. And okay. That was an interesting trade. But now, I mean, you can see a great, for the first time like ever in the game, ever since the 2 engagement packs. You know, Warriors Gaming, they have a very firm advantage in the game. I mean,
yeah,
if anything,
the Night Stalker is above the Bloodseeker in farm, so I think that says enough.
If anything, dude, it's always about the size of the weapon which counts, right? I mean, just look at it. Bigger swords means bigger wins.
Except no one on HappyFeet has a sword to compare with.
That's why I said blade. Doesn't Bloodseeker look like he's carrying blades? I'm not really sure what you call those. What do you call those? Knives?
They're not knives. They are like swords, I suppose, of some degree. They're held weird, but yeah.
Oh, look at
if you combine both of those in length, they're about as big as Sven's sword.
Sonic Wave. Oh, Fiero with style. He gets the solo kill on Rappy. 3 heroes teep it in, and they won't be able to do anything about that.
I feel like they're just now the whole containing the map, split pushing, global presence thing. It's all kind of gone out the window now. You know, Quap will always do more than Viper with more net worth. Same thing with Sven. Sven will do more than... We'll compare him to Prophet, because that's a more fair analogy of this game. He doesn't have more net worth, but when he right-clicks harder than the Prophet does. And then you can look at the Doom and the Bloodseeker and see who does more damage in fights, and it's always going to be the Doom now. He's got a Shiva as well, so he's extremely tanky. So he's not susceptible to it. He even has the flash attack from the Ancients, so he can cleave you down. He can be a mini Sven.
Alright, so 30 seconds before Roshan spawns at HappyFeet, they realize they need to try and make a play. They can't just sit around anymore, but if you're using the Doom onto Ben-Hur, that smoke's been thwarted immediately, and Ben-Hur looks like he's gonna die here. Stormbot Hammer onto 2, cleaving everyone down. Shonix.
I believe that's game.
Yeah, this is it. Jules, he does get X-Nova, but still. 3 heroes, no buyback on any of these heroes. And, alright, Mr. Shonix. I don't even know what to say. This game has been very interesting. I mean, HappyFeet, they had a good run, they had a good advantage, but they just, not only did it just get thrown out the window, it went straight out the window into the drain and get flushed down all the way into the sewers.
And it somehow ended up in Warrior's pocket after going into the sewers.
Yeah. Well, HappyFeet are going to be tilted feet by this point, because they just threw away quite a, what looked like should have been their game. And now they just go back to the shrines.
Yeah, and this is why I said they can still easily win, because you know, 1 bad high ground push turned into 2 bad high ground pushes, and then you see how useless these heroes look in comparison, especially when they don't get the jump. Like their lineup is incredibly based on them having lane pressure and them being able to get the jump through things like charges and Prophet TPing in at weird angles and creating a really chaotic fight. But right now, all that's happening is Warriors Gaming walk is like 4 or 5 heroes into them, and they're getting the jump every single time. And HappyFeet's vision is, you know, next to irrelevant in darkness, and outside of darkness, it's still pretty mediocre, you know?
Alright, they want to find a contest on, oh, Fiero destroying Jesse Vash. He will buy out, but Velo, he's going ham. Alright, using the Viper Strike and the Rupture onto Velo, he will die.
He has buyback.
But yeah, he has buyback. He can buy back for this if he needs to. X-Nova, he's just trying to D-ward. Leave him alone. But Shonix, he's going to cut up Jesse Vash. And that's going to be a dieback on his part.
It's only a silence as well.
Yep, he's going to get Jules as well though. Pharaoh, oh, he's still going for more. He wants more. He wants Yash. Yash looks tasty. And he will get the meal. And Miracle going for more. He wants to kill Rappy. Rappy, nowhere to run. Contact the trees, he's going for the TP out. And with the Hunter in the night. Alright, down goes Rappy. 4 heroes dead. And looks like Ben had to follow them. It's going to be the team wipe. This Warriors Gaming wipe HappyFeet as they tried for that desperation play. So game 1 going to be called. Seems like GG. 17,000 net worth advantage right now. 6 for 2 actually. 2100 gold swing. Wow, this Warriors Gaming playing ever more patient.
I think it was more of a throw than them playing patiently. Like, their early game was very mediocre, and HappyFeet exploited it really well, but their draft doesn't allow for that many mistakes. You know, especially high ground mistakes. Like, you can get picked off around the map, you can misplay with your spells, but when you go for these high ground pushes, you can't screw them up. Like, they went way too early, and they really felt the loss of gold from it.
And
so maybe next game they go with something that has a little more wiggle room for error, or they just play more disciplined, you know? Like, they did not need to go high ground either time. The second time was a lot more acceptable, and they just misplayed, but the first time was plain greedy.
yeah, and not to mention, I do agree with you on some points with Giage, you know, questionable with the talent build, the skill build, and...
That's not what lost him the game, though.
Yeah, I know, but still, you know, he's 1-12. We have to talk about that. We have to address that. The team has to address that. Like, 1-12 is a Bloodseeker, and they did have the heroes to cope very well with Shonix. He had no items for a long time, and you know, Pharaoh is just going around doing a lot. I've had to credit a hero or player, particularly this game. It would be Pharaoh for creating a ton of space, and Velo.
Yeah, I really liked how he moved around a lot early. Like, between him and the Doom, they made a lot of kills happen on the Bloodseeker.
They did. And it's apparent, like, the efforts really paid off. So, okay. That was game 1 of Warriors Gaming Unity versus HappyFeet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back for game 2 very, very shortly. This is Hades and PQMZ, your light and dark duo. We'll be back soon.